Alright YouTubers, I got the new GoPro 7 Silver attached and I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna go out to a park that I like a lot. I'm gonna try something here. GoPro stop recording. And hopefully I've figured out how to put that whole GPS stuff in there, and maybe I'm showing you that on the video. I don't know yet. I gotta learn how to use that software and all that good stuff. See that my mount's still in there. Oh man. I was hoping to get moving a little bit, see if that GPS sticker said anything. I did learn something just, you know, looking through and trying to figure stuff out. Obviously when you're shooting at 4K, the battery life is not going to be as good as you would hope it to be. And one of the things that I saw was if you use that GPS thing, because you could turn it on and off with the camera, but if you keep that on, it's going to drain your battery faster, which is kind of obvious. Also, I'm wondering how the mic is sounding. And I have the screen set. I tried to go in and set it up. I have the screen set to turn off while it's still recording after whatever seconds, maybe 30 seconds or wherever I put it on. That should also help the battery life. But I do like the voice command thing. I'm gonna still use "have a great and wonderful day," but I think after that I'm gonna have to edit out, and it's gonna happen here. GoPro stop recording. And we're back. I'm not exactly sure how long that screen's gonna stay on. I think I got it at 30 seconds. But I brought my old GoPro with me, and we're gonna do some comparison shots. I'll try to put on the video when I get it edited up, what speed I'm shooting everything at and what frame rate. This is not as adjustable as the GoPro 7 Black, but it still can do a lot of things. Some things are cool, and some things I'm finding out I didn't realize. Like you can, if I was shooting at 1080 at 60 frames a second, I'd be able to use either my cell phone, and that app is pretty good, or on the touchscreen, I could zoom in and zoom out. But at 4K and at 1080 at 30 frames per second, you can't do that. Or maybe it's 60, whatever. One of them on 1080 you can, and one of them you can. Again, I'm just trying to help a little bit here. It's always best to look up actual stats and stuff like that, as opposed to some guy on YouTube who's not a stat geek. And there's not anything wrong with the stat geeks out there. I'm just not one of them. Working on some other projects that should have some videos soon, so this is probably going to be out of order on stuff I've been doing, but that's okay. Since I posted this, I'm trying to get it up there, and it is about 30 degrees here in Ohio today. I should have went out yesterday when it was snowing and sleeting and all that stuff, because it was all stuck to the trees and it looked nice. This is 4K. Now my other thing I have to figure out, as I just said, I'm not like a techie geek, which I should be from past experience, but you do that stuff long enough and you get to where you're like, ugh. But where I'm going with that is, I'm just using Microsoft Movie Maker to do my videos. So I have to figure out if that can even upload at 4K. Right now, I don't think it can. So I might have to change what software I'm using to edit my videos. And in the past, I tried fiddling around with GoPro Studio. I don't know if it stopped there for something. I must have said something that triggered it. But I tried fiddling around with GoPro Studio in the past, and I really didn't like it. And I know you know, most of the software does pretty much the same thing, but obviously some of them can do some neater bells and whistles. So I'm looking like I might end up having to learn some new software, which I just hate doing. I'm busy enough in life that I don't want once I figure something out that works for me, I'm like, this is good enough. So I might have to try to find some free editing software out there, which should be interesting. Because again, I like to do most of my stuff on my budget, which I try to keep low for silly stuff, so I can have my budget go into the gas tank. And because of the cats, the budget can go into campgrounds more often than I would like. Alright, we're stuck here, so GoPro, stop recording. Just in time for me to catch a red light. So, GoPro, stop recording. On this, I made a mistake. I don't know if I'm going crazy or what, but the GoPro 7 Black, I gotta not use the word what this camera is because it keeps doing stuff, but the 7 Black is $300 and not $400. I was either thinking the new 8, or I'm just like silly. Why are we on brakes? Because I like to complain about driving. Turn signal, then brakes. That's how we do it in the real world. Especially like people taking off ramps on highways. You know, slow down when you get on the off ramp. Don't slow down to 50 on the highway when people are behind you. But that's a whole different story. So here we're going through the little town of Yellow Springs. And actually, one of these days, probably in the spring while it's still kind of cold, I'm gonna bring my new Fuji over here. There's a pretty good bike shop. I think they do mainly treks, but they should be able to work on my Fuji because it needs a little dialed in. That really cool guy helped me in Grand Marais for free. Watch out, squirrel. But he even said it needed more, but here's a little bit. So I'm gonna bring it in here for a tune-up. Alright, GoPro, stop recording. I gotta tell you that being able to do the voice commands, I really like that already. I've only been messing with it for like literally however long this video has been. That's all I've been messing with the camera. So it again will be, I haven't been using this for a year, so I gotta edit myself because I misspoke. So this initial video being so soon after I got it, I'm sure I'll leave a lot of good advice out. So that's part of life though. You get excited to do a review on something that you haven't totally figured out everything about it. So we're going to John Bryan State Park. It's only a couple miles. And I'm sure in through here I'll put some time lapse and all that and see how that goes on my editing. But as I was just saying, on the editing software, I'm gonna use Movie Maker for this again, because it's not gonna all be in 4K. It's gonna be in different speeds and with the older GoPro. So I don't know what I'll be able to upload this at. But I would like to be able to upload at 4K, but I can't guarantee you that's gonna be the case. But I would assume still recording at a higher rate should still improve the video quality. Somebody in the road and a car's coming. I'll talk about the mic in a bit. You've probably already noticed it. I gotta figure out what the noises are. As I'm editing, it seems to be muffled sometimes, so I gotta figure out if it's me or the camera. There's better places to run. Just my personal opinion. There's better places to run and better places to ride your bike. Also, my windshield mount jiggles a little, so I gotta figure out why it's giving me that rattle noise. See how the mic sounds with a little bit of window open, because, you know, That's one of my other problems. I always like having the window open. And because it's cold, try not to accelerate real fast. I don't need to go sliding around. This convertible is fun, but it is not all-wheel drive. It is not. It's better than Eddie in bad weather, but it's not my old Subaru. And man, I miss my old Subaru. The rattle noise is weird because it's really tight in that case, so maybe a piece of felt or finally upgrade this mount I've never liked. 20 miles per hour. The campground over here. I'd be surprised but not shocked if there was somebody here. Middle of the week though, there is nobody here. I've stayed there in the winter. I like it. I'll probably do it again. I don't think I've been here in longer than it should be. Park's looking better. They had to cut down so many trees because the ash borer disease came through. But it's rebounding. Rebounding? It looks more natural. When they first did it, it just looked like a tree graveyard, you know, like a logging unit. Really, if you're in the area, if you ever get to the area, this is a nice park. There's an observatory over there to the left, which we didn't go down. I've showed it in the past. There's some really good hiking trails. I'm gonna take the cameras down a little bit. I'm not gonna be out here forever. I'm not really dressed for it. Back to time lapse. Stop talking. But I'm trying to talk it like a normal voice, so we'll see if I have to go back to trying to talk louder, because I know in the past some people have complained that they couldn't hear me very well. But when I watch other people's videos, there's some of them out there that are like screaming at the camera. I don't like doing that. I try to talk in a normal voice, you know, keep it chill, not all wound up. But I do have to figure out why it sometimes sounds muffled, if it's the mic or if it's me. Hopefully it's me. If I haven't turned that GPS tracker off, I got caught speeding. Or if I've gotten it to work. Because you got to run it through something else before you edit it to do it. So that's going to be some figuring out. And if I don't figure it out, I'm sitting here wondering, will I edit out all this talking about it? Or will I admit, I couldn't figure that crap out? I'm going to have to read the darn book, and I don't want to have to read the book. You should read the book. If this is picking up any tire noise, I had my tires checked, but I got some flat spots in them because this car sits so much when I'm gone in the RV. A mechanic I trust, I have a new mechanic now. He told me, you got some noise, but you're totally safe. So I'm trying to put it off because I also think it's time for 2 new tires for Cousin Eddie. When I park, when I can avoid it, I don't like to park right under trees, you know, on the rare occasion that something goes. All right, so we're here. I'm gonna get myself ready, and next we're gonna try out some of the handheld. Just gonna hold the GoPro in my hand. But this video got too long. There's going to be a part 2. I also want to say this is raw film. I didn't run it through GoPro Studio to crop it or change the colors in any way. And I did mess around with that GoPro Quick thing. First impression, not a big fan. That's what I used to put the GPS stickers in there. But we'll see part 2. Have a great and wonderful day.